Chance, the first encounter. When you watch such a dynamic and absurd show like The Amazing World of Gumball, you quickly get used to the strangeness of its characters, surreal settings, and impossible situations unfolding at a frantic pace. You become immune to the weirdness, expecting the unexpected as part of the entertainment. But my confusion came when, during the episode The Procrastinators, Season 3, Episode 18, I noticed something completely out of place in the background of a scene. While Gumball and Darwin tried to dodge their responsibilities with their usual childish excuses, a figure briefly appeared, almost inadvertently, with a pale face, deep wrinkles marking an expressionless look, and a red nose that seemed to glow with its own dull, sickly light. It wasn't part of the main story, nor did it interact with the characters. It was a static, motionless silhouette lurking in the shadows of the set, almost like a ghost or an intangible shadow. This first appearance didn't go unnoticed by the most attentive and obsessive fans, who began speculating about its origin and hidden purpose. Some claimed it was a disturbing tribute to Pennywise, the famous clown from Stephen King's It, with its evil aura and terrifying presence. Others saw it as a darker, more abstract symbol, a hidden message challenging the apparent innocence and lightness of the show. The mere presence of that figure caused a strange, almost uncomfortable dissonance, as if the clown were a mistake in the reality of the show, a crack between the colorful, cheerful world of Elmore and a dark corner nobody wanted to acknowledge. It was the first time I realized Gumball wasn't just absurd comedy, but a universe with secret dark layers waiting to be unveiled. 2. Revelations in the Ghouls. Over time, and after several rewatches, the clown appeared again in the series, but this time with an even more disturbing weight. In the episode The Ghouls, Season 5, Episode 30, the show offers a revelation that seems to shed light on the nature of this enigmatic character, although in reality, it only deepens its mystery and terrifying aura. In this episode, we learn that the clown is not a complete or conventional being, but an incomplete monster, a defective, broken creature that cannot fulfill its purpose properly. This entity repeatedly fails in its attempts to scare the children of Elmore, and instead of causing intentional fear, it provokes an involuntary and uncontrollable unease, directly affecting main characters like Gumball and Darwin. This detail is especially unsettling because it presents the clown not as a figure of power or dominance, but as an anomaly, an out-of-place entity that does not fit into the vibrant and chaotic world of Elmore. It's an unwanted intruder, someone destined to the periphery, to the shadows, always lurking without a clear purpose or defined plan. This condition of being incomplete makes it a tragic and terrifying figure at once. It is not a traditional monster that scares through strength or evil. Rather, it represents failure, exclusion, and marginalization. The feeling that this clown is doomed to exist in darkness, unable to integrate or find meaning, adds a deep, dark emotional layer that impacts the viewer on a more symbolic level. The image of this monstrous clown is even more sinister due to its silence and fixed gaze, which seems to observe everything without reacting, as if trapped in some kind of limbo within the show's universe. This stillness, this threatening quietness, amplifies the discomfort it generates. It's not just a character who appears and disappears. It's a dark reflection of something broken within the very structure of the show. Its presence feels like an open wound in the fabric of the fictional world, an anomaly that cannot and should not be ignored. It represents that latent unease, that unsettling aspect hidden beneath the colorful and absurd surface of the amazing world of Gumball. Furthermore, this figure of the incomplete clown can also be interpreted as a metaphor for the fear of rejection and the feeling of not belonging. In a world where most characters have defined roles and clear identities, the clown is the ultimate outsider, a being who cannot find its place and whose only apparent function seems to be as a disturbing reminder of imperfection and exclusion. This emotional and psychological dimension enriches the character, giving it a depth far beyond a simple passing horror antagonist. In that sense, the clown becomes a symbol of the insecurities and fears we all carry inside, even if they're disguised behind a mask of fun or absurdity. 3. Tobias's mask and the breaking of the fourth wall in The Curse of Elmore. One of the most unsettling and memorable moments related to the mysterious clown occurs in the episode titled The Curse of Elmore, where Tobias, a recurring character in the series, wears a mask that chillingly reproduces the face of that disturbing clown in great detail. This seemingly simple act introduces an extra layer of visual horror that goes far beyond the usual humor of the show. The mask is not only a creepy replica of that painted face with a fixed smile and empty eyes, but it becomes a symbol that blurs the line between reality within the animated world and the superficial appearance of the characters. At this moment, the animation does not just tell a funny or strange story, but plays with the viewer's perception, making the fictional and the tangible blend until they become indistinguishable. This mask, with its expressionless look, almost like a painted skull, dominates the scene with an aura of mystery and terror. It is not just an accessory, it is an element that transcends the episode and becomes a visual metaphor for the invisible threat lurking in Elmore. Its silent presence and fixed gaze represent that deep, ancient fear of the unknown, of what cannot be explained or controlled, making the audience feel uncomfortable and watched. The mask seems to have a life of its own, as if the clown it represents were not just a character inside the series, but an entity dwelling in the shadows of the animated world, lurking from the margins. But what makes this moment even more disturbing is the way the series subtly breaks the fourth wall. The fourth wall is that invisible barrier separating the characters of a fiction from the viewers watching it. When Tobias wears that mask, there is a chilling sense that the clown is not only present in the Gumball universe, but somehow aware of the audience, looking directly through the screen. This gesture breaks with the traditional logic of children's shows and animated comedies, where interaction with the viewer is usually limited or non-existent. Here, however, it is hinted that the clown might be watching us, stalking us from the other side, and this generates a much deeper psychological terror. The idea that a fictional character could recognize its existence beyond the screen is a powerful and rarely explored concept in this type of series. It is not just a device to induce momentary fear, but introduces a meta-level of horror that challenges the very perception of the narrative. It makes us feel vulnerable, as if we were being watched without the ability to respond or intervene. This implicit, "I know you're there," in the gaze of the mask creates an unsettling sensation that transcends the visual and touches a very intense emotional level. Furthermore, this breaking of the fourth wall opens the door to endless theories among fans and the most attentive viewers. Some suggest that the clown is not just a simple disturbing character, but a conscious agent with a plan, secretly plotting something, an invisible antagonist manipulating the world of Elmore, and by extension, those of us who watch the show. Others believe the clown is waiting to be discovered, that it is a silent observer within the show itself who wants to interact with us but is trapped in a hidden dimension between fiction and reality. This dual role of observer and stalker makes the mask a much more powerful and terrifying symbol than a simple costume. 4. Recurring appearances. Throughout all the seasons and episodes, the clown neither disappears nor fades away. We see him in seemingly innocent and trivial scenes, but always with the same impassive expression. His dark, slanted, and deep-set eyes, his pale, wrinkled skin like aged paper, and that bright red nose that stands out in contrast to the cadaverous pallor of his face. In episodes like Decisions and Joy, his presence is constant, though silent and motionless, like a shadow refusing to disappear or be noticed by the show's characters. This consistency in his appearance causes the figure to become increasingly unsettling and disturbing for the attentive viewer. He is not just simple background decoration or an episodic character who appears to fulfill a specific role. He is an anomaly that seems to exist beyond time, logic, and the conventional narrative of Elmore. As the viewer pays more attention and becomes obsessed with searching for him, the clown begins to seem aware of himself and his own fictional existence, elevating the mystery to an almost metaphysical, philosophical level. His stillness in a chaotic, colorful, and dynamic world is what truly makes him disturbing, because it breaks the internal rules of the universe where he appears, thus unsettlingly shattering the suspension of disbelief. 5. What makes this clown scary? The grotesque and sickly appearance of the clown is only the beginning of what makes him so terrifying. His pale, dry, and cracked skin looks like that of someone who has spent too much time under the sun without protection, but without any life reflecting humanity. His black eyes are like infinite pits, devoid of shine or emotion, empty and cold, seeming to absorb light and any trace of joy. The red nose, which normally on a clown would be a humorous and cheerful detail, here becomes another element of discomfort because it shines with a light of its own that is almost sickly, like a red warning signal on a dead face. But beyond his physical appearance, it is the clown's almost absolute stillness that truly frightens. In an animated universe where everything moves, changes, grows, and constantly transforms, he remains motionless, like a system error, a visual glitch that refuses to be fixed or removed. The monotone, muted, and detached voice, performed by Mick Graves, reinforces this feeling of something that does not belong, that does not fit, that is out of place. He doesn't chase anyone, doesn't scream or act. He simply is there, watching without blinking, without interacting. And that is what generates a psychological terror much deeper than a traditional scare. 6. The mystery of his origin. In a world as absurd, chaotic, and ridiculous as Elmore, where a student T-Rex coexists with a nervous talking banana, one would expect that any character would have some explanation or context, no matter how absurd. However, this clown never has one. Neither the characters within the show nor the creators have ever mentioned his presence, and there are no episodes that even explain where he comes from or what his purpose is. This has led to a chilling hypothesis among the most dedicated fans. What if this clown is not really part of the Gumball universe? What if he is a mistake within the narrative, a visual fault or glitch that slipped in without permission and that no one has been able to eliminate or fix? His appearance, especially in episodes where reality seems to break down, like in The Procrastinators, where time becomes erratic and the rules of the world seem to dissolve, strengthens the idea that he is an anomaly, a shadow, or a crack that manifests when the fabric of the story and the internal logic of the series fracture. 7. A message for the audience. The clown is not there for the characters in the show. He is there for the audience, watching the series from the outside. The kids within the animated universe don't notice him, but we do. And that makes him doubly unsettling and disturbing. He's not a typical villain or a comic figure meant to entertain. He is a strange presence, aiming to create discomfort and tension, feeding off our attention, and forcing us to look beyond the cheerful, absurd, and colorful surface of the series. This raises an even more disturbing question. Is he just a mistake, a meaningless coincidence, or was he placed intentionally to break our comfort as viewers? Could it be an inside joke by the animators or a conscious creation to add a hidden layer of meta-horror, a kind of psychological game for the most observant fans? His recurring appearances at moments of narrative breakdown and scenes where the world's balance seems to fracture suggest it's no coincidence, but a carefully designed device to make the most attentive viewers feel that persistent and strange unease, like a reminder that nothing in Gumball is completely safe or normal. 8. An extra level of meta-horror. The Amazing World of Gumball is known for constantly breaking the fourth wall and playing with its characters' awareness of being cartoons. But this clown goes beyond anything else. He seems aware of his own fictional existence and knows someone is watching him from outside. He doesn't just appear in the background. His gaze seems directed straight at us, the viewers who seek him out, who discover him lurking in the shadows. This invisible but effective interaction between character and viewer creates a unique and deeply disturbing experience, where fiction and reality intertwine and blur until they become indistinguishable. Instead of being a mere visual element or an Easter egg, the clown becomes an eerie and mysterious link between the world of Elmore and our own. A constant reminder that the line separating animation from reality can break at any moment, exposing the hidden cracks behind the screen. 9. A silent spectator. Unlike the other characters who run, scream, change, and evolve throughout the series, the clown always remains the same, always in absolute silence, always watching from its dark corner. It's like a visual virus, an anomaly, a glitch in the system that has become self-aware and now dwells in the shadows of the show, a presence that doesn't interact, doesn't intervene, but never leaves. This eerie stillness contrasts just sharply with the vibrant chaos that unfolds around it, making the clown feel less like a part of the narrative and more like an external force, an observer who exists outside the rules of the story, yet remains impossibly tethered to it. This immobility is the key to its horror. It reminds us that there are things that don't fit, that remain invisible to the naked eye, but are there, waiting to be discovered by those who look beyond. The clown figure acts as a dark mirror of our own gaze, a silent witness who neither judges nor threatens, but unsettles and disturbs by its mere presence, with that ominous silence imposed amidst the noise and chaos of the show. It becomes a symbol of the unknown, lurking just beyond understanding, a reminder that beneath the surface of every familiar scene, there can be hidden layers of unease and mystery. The clown's unwavering gaze feels like it pierces through the veil of normalcy, inviting viewers to question what they accept as reality and to confront the disquieting fact that some truths remain stubbornly concealed in plain sight. The final theory. Finally, the question remains open and unanswered. Where does this clown come from? Is it a joke that got out of control, a visual error the animators forgot to fix, or a creature created with the intention of generating unease and mystery in the audience? Perhaps it's a visual traveler, an intruder who slipped into Elmore's world from some parallel dimension and became real because of our attention and obsession. Whatever it is, its existence remains an unfathomable mystery, a shadow amid the colorful and humorous, a presence that never quite fits, but that we cannot ignore. And now that you know about it, you will never stop looking for it in every scene, every background, every dark corner, hoping to see that pale, silent figure lurking in the shadows, lurking also in your gaze, reminding you that the world of Gumball is much more than just a simple cartoon. Final conclusion. Discovering the clown in the Amazing World of Gumball changes forever how we see the series. It's no longer just a fun, absurd, colorful show. It's a universe with hidden secrets, layers of unsettling meaning, and details that brush against the metaphysical. That silent, pale, disturbing figure reminds us that behind the laughter and madness, there may be shadows lurking, patiently waiting to be seen and recognized. Now, every time you watch Gumball, remember this: that clown is there, watching from the shadows, and perhaps it's watching you too, closer than you imagine. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe to stay updated with more content about animation and everything related to Gumball. Tell us what you thought in the comments. We love hearing your point of view. And to never miss an analysis like this, hit the bell and receive all notifications. See you in the next video.